To be honest, I used to think playing as Lost was something unrealistic and impossible, at least for me. But my friend challenged me. I had to play as the hardest character, Lost, and beat all the final bosses in less than 30 runs. And if I failed, I'd have to delete my own save file, erasing all the progress I'd made over 50 hours. Run 1, my first run as a Lost. To be honest, I was really nervous. I mean, I was absolutely terrified. I got the Satanic Bible, which replaces item after a boss fight with satanic items. Maybe I will get lucky and end up with great build. Somewhere on the 4th floor, I encountered a new boss I hadn't fought before and died. Run 2. Flying really helps a lot in these runs. I am more or less comfortable playing as a Lost now. I found a paper and have 16 luck. That's insane. I'm just spawning fireballs. It's turning into a pretty strong build. And then I got Mom's Knife. I couldn't pass up such an overpowered item, so now I barely spawn fireballs anymore, unfortunately. And when I found the spider and started firing 4 knives, I knew I definitely beat the heart. And that's exactly what happened. A ton of knives, massive damage, and I beat the heart. But to be honest, I was really nervous. I made it to Satan with massive damage. In just 2 hits, I moved it to the second phase, where I took a hit and my mantle disappeared. The next hit would have killed me, but I managed to take him out first and move on to the next level, the dark room. And I got Brimstone. Now my attacks are a bunch of knives flying everywhere, which is cool. I almost died from the bombs. To be honest, my heart stopped right there, but I survived. I made it to the lamp, whom I also managed to kill. I think I could even kill Mega Satan if I had the keys. It was a really cool run and I really enjoyed Lost. Run 3. Found Tech X on the 1st floor. Now my tears look like this. The run was going pretty well, but I stupidly died on the 3rd floor boss. Run 4. On the 2nd floor I found a super powerful item, the C-section. My tears look different now. They deal massive damage and are homing. In Devil's Room I found a little more damage. This time I defeated the boss that killed me in the first run of Lost. Found a cat. Now I have 9 lives. This is obviously overpowered for Lost. Defeated the heart and headed to Isaac, where by the way I died once. I just didn't understand what was happening on the screen, but thanks to the cat I'm still going. On the second try I made it through and moved on to the chest, where I took out the boss. He didn't even have time to figure anything out, so I've already beaten 5 bosses. There are about 5 left. Run 5. I was aiming for Mega Satan, so I skipped the rooms with Devil to unlock the rooms with the angels and collected the keys for Mega Satan. I collected 2 keys that way. Now I can go into the Devil's room too. By the way, I got 2 powerful minions from the Devil. The build turned out pretty strong, but not overpowered yet. It doesn't quite measure up for Mega Satan. And then, right away, the angel gave me a crown for X2 damage. After those 2 upgrades, I ended up with a pretty good build, and on top of that, I found Mom's Knife. Now, the build is fully ready for Mega Satan. I quickly crossed the heart and headed on to Satan. Killed him in 1 hit and went down further into the dark room, where I found the cat, bringing my lives up to 9. Well, there is no way I can lose now. I died once here while clearing the room, but that's not big deal anymore. I found another overpowered item. My knives now even explode on impact. I quickly killed the lamp and headed to Mega Satan. It was incredibly easy. I destroyed both the first and second phases in just a few hits. Run 6. Found the red key. This item unlocks extra rooms. It will really slow down my run, so I won't make it to the boss rush or hash in time. But there is a chance to build a cool setup and defeat the hardest boss for me, Mother. Went to the alternate floors for the first time as Lost. I haven't had much luck with the red rooms so far. I even found my first ever ultra secret room, but it was just trash. I got really lucky. I found the knife in the devil room again. I also found the cat again, so I now have 9 lives. I collected the knife I need to move forward. I defeated the boss and moved on to the mausoleum. I died twice from heart here. Good thing I had the cat. I finally found a pretty good item in the red room, but overall I didn't really like having to go through the red rooms. I defeated the boss in the mausoleum and moved on to the final floor. I finally reached the final boss, the Mother. I was really nervous. I managed to beat the first phase quickly without taking any damage, but in the second phase she lost half her HP and I died. I still had 7 attempts left, but on the second try I defeated her without even taking a single hit. Awesome. I was so happy. I thought at the time that she was the hardest boss I could possibly face, and I was really lucky to have beaten her, because on my other characters I often couldn't even make it with 10 hearts. Run 7. I wanted to beat the boss rush and hash on this run. I died on the first floor from the most ordinary mobs. What a joke. Rushing makes me make stupid mistakes. Run 8. The run started off pretty well. My damage was going up, but I stupidly died in the challenge room. Run 9. Died on the boss. Run 10. Died again, this time back in the challenge room. Run 11. Took damage in the room with spikes at the entrance, couldn't get out. I'm on a really long losing streak, which is probably to be expected with this character, but I decided to change my approach. Instead of rushing, I will try to relax and go for the beast. Run 12. I only have 18 runs left and I still need to kill the beast, Hush, Boss Rush, Delirium and Ultra Greed. Right now I'm focusing on the beast. There's almost no room for error. The run went horribly. It took me several minutes to kill a very easy boss, but I found a nice item for damage. I hope things get better from here. Then the second item. Well, it didn't turn out too bad, but it's still far from what I need. Suddenly, while rerolling an item, I got a 20/20. What else could that be but overpowered? The problem is that I now have to survive until I face the beast, so I try to find something for defense. I got really small from the pills and I found a mask that can block enemy shots. Since I'm so small, it's hard for me to keep track of myself. I beat Mom and came back via the cart to head to the beast. I reached the node and started the ascent. I have no words for what happened with my tears. They are flooding everything and I just can't find myself, and that's the biggest problem. I opened Tainted Lost and started a battle with the TV. That was my biggest fear because I always took a ton of damage on that part, but somehow I managed to get through it. The problem were huge. I couldn't see a thing. I couldn't see the horseman. It was especially hard during the horseman's death, where I couldn't tell which tears were his and which were mine. Next up was the beast itself. By then I already relaxed and defeated it. The beast is beaten. Run 13, died on the boss on the second floor. Run 14, I tried to get Hush again, hope it would work out that time, but I died from a damn spider. Day 15, died in a huge room full of spiders and flies. That was rough. Day 16, I need just one successful run where I can take down 3 bosses at once. I gotta get lucky. Found 20/20. That's a great start. The main thing is not to screw it up by rushing. Then a pentagram from the boss, and after that another cool item from the devil. So far, so good. The run was going great, but I ran into a boss that was way too tough for me. I had to die. I screw up my chance. Run 17, a stupid death in the room with spikes. Run 18, immediately another stupid death from the same enemy in the same room. This is some kind of curse. Run 19, died to the boss on the first floor. Run 20. Well, to be honest, I didn't have much hope. The clear was going pretty well on the first few floors, but I wasn't getting any good items at all. And then suddenly I got a C-section. It's my favorite item. The main thing is not to die stupidly early on. I picked up Guppy Knuckle, 50 chance to respawn after death. It's not the Guppy tail, but it's still not bad. I had a problem. I ran into an XXL level and I didn't have much time. I had to hurry. I beat the bosses quickly. That's a relief. I ran into a terrible boss that I would have definitely died against. I was really lucky to have enough damage to kill it fast. At this point I was already shooting pretty often. I like the build. I think I have every chance of winning. I found another really cool damage item. I'm really lucky this run. The game finally decided to go easy on me. I beat Mom and went on a boss rush. I took care of the bosses pretty quickly here, but I had to be incredibly careful. I even took a hit once, but I managed to complete the boss rush. I was really scared. As a reward I got a D6 cool. I quickly defeat the heart and made it to the Hush. Now for the hardest part. Killing him. I've never beaten him without taking any damage before, so this has to be my first time. The fight began. I took down the first phase in a matter of seconds, then started on the second. His HP was dropping fast, really fast. I never seen anything like this. It's the most overpowered build I've ever had. It's insane. I did take damage once, but I used a card and finished off the boss. Now 2 final bosses remain, Delirium and Ultra Greed. And to be honest, I can't imagine how to beat Delirium without taking any damage. I went down into the void. I found 3 orbital flies. I was hoping they could protect me from Delirium shots. I'm starting the fight with the final boss. Unfortunately, I still haven't gotten the Guppy tail. I have to win as is. There won't be better build than this. And then I was just prepared for dodging, surviving, really stressed out. I didn't even have time to realize I'd already defeated the boss. His HP disappeared so quickly that I didn't even have time to figure out what happened. He didn't even have time to change his form. It's just unbelievable. To be honest, I was playing through the final runs and had no hope that I'd be able to beat this, but I got incredibly lucky when I found the C-section. I believe it might be the very run that would end it all. Run 21, then I went into Greed mode. My damage output was pretty good and I also found Mom's knife. I had a pretty overpowered build, but I died because of invisible enemies. Run 22 started off well. I found Ipekek and my tears turned into a barrage of attacks. But the problem was that that I could easily kill myself that way. I urgently needed a defense item. And I got lucky, I found a cat. Now I have 9 lives and a pretty good chance of beating the game. But if I could also find immunity to explosions, that would definitely be a win. Instead, I found a twisted pair. So now there are 3 bombs instead of 1, which made things even more dangerous. I stupidly wasted 1 life in the room with spikes. Good thing the cat saved me. I found a brimstone. That's super cool. It explodes, self-destructs. Basically, it's insane. I died once on the final boss, but that's okay. I still have 8 tries left. And on the second try, I beat it and completed the Lost, unlocking one of the strongest items in the game, the Godhead. What do you have to say now, my friend? I beat your challenge, but in the response to completing this challenge, my friends threw the next one at me. It's the same thing, but for Tainted Lost. Should I take it on?